What if you could take that risk, make that change, reach that goal, live your best life? Welcome to another episode of the What If You Could podcast, where we get together with amazing experts and everyday people who share challenges, encourage healing, and explore the possibilities that life has to offer. I'm your host, Gary Scott, and I'm excited that you're along for the ride.
Let's do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of us. And today, my guest is a man who is a plethora of things. He is amazing on so many different levels. We have Dr. Hank. Hello, Dr. Hank.
Hello, hello.
I'm just going to read your bio real quick. It's a short and sweet. We'll get in and out, and then we'll get cooking. So, Dr. Hank, helping you become your greatest possibility. Dr. Hank is a mental scientist, ordained minister, businessman, and author who helps people tap into divine intelligence to create the life they desire. After a devastating accident left him unable to walk, Dr. Hank defied all odds using the power of his mind, proving that our thoughts shape our reality. Now, Dr. Hank teaches others how to shift their mindset, overcome challenges, and manifest success in every area of their life. Dr. Hank's inspiring journey and practical insights empower listeners to break through limitations and step into their highest potential. That's good,
Yeah.
brother. That's all good stuff, Doc.
Baby.
Right?
It's right from the
I'm feeling it.
divine into our ears. Yeah.
I'm feeling it, brother. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, I can't wait to jump in, but again, like I
Yeah.
mentioned, I'm contractually obligated to ask the what if you could question. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Hank, have you ever had a what if you could moment or what if you could thought, or is there still a what if
Yeah.
you could for Dr. Hank you'd like to
Yeah.
share?
Well, I think since it was asked in the past, like right now, it would be what if I could fly with my angels, and we'll get to that later, where we could all feel a lot better, and it's really about our feeling and how we are. But I think that the one of the greatest questions I ever asked is after a very horrendous car accident I was in. It not only totaled my car, but it totaled my body. And in fact, I was told when I woke up that I was told that I would never walk again, that I was paralyzed, couldn't feel anything from my waist down. And in fact, I have a picture. Here's the car, and you can
Wow.
see the condition of the car there. Here's another
That
angle
used to be a car. What on
yeah,
earth
that
hit you?
used to be. Yeah, it
What
was kind
hit
of
you?
funny. I told my wife, hey, when I was in the hospital, then I said, hey, my car door, I bet there's the winning lottery tickets. And so she went out and actually took these pictures, and she came back and she said, I'm sorry, you don't have a car door. They use the jaws of life to extract that and then scrape me off. And actually, here's a picture of me in the hospital. And I'm smiling. All my teeth are actually kicked out, my broken arm, and then you can see my broken neck. And I was paralyzed. I could not feel anything from my waist down. So I asked, what if I could walk again? And I've been blessed with understanding life and how it plays, Gary. And so I decided to use my teaching on me. And I decided if I what if I could walk again? And so it was one breath after the next. Our breath, spiritually in the Bible, the word spirit actually means breath. It's our fastest way to connect with our higher power, with our source, universe, God, whatever you want to call it. That it is a way. So for me to just deep breathing, I breathe deeply. Within a minute, you get to connect with your source then, fastest, easiest way. And I just started to imagine me walking, me being free to be able to stand up, to turn around, to do that. And it was one moment after the next moment, breath after breath, minute after minute, day after day, week after week. And one day, after several months, and this was me in the hospital for a while, where I was being told every day I'd never walk again. And when the doctors would come in and say, yeah, and this patient, he'll never walk again, paralyzed from his waist, we can't operate on, blah, blah, blah. And what I would think is, oh, that's simply what I don't want, is this idea, this concept about about me not walking. And so I would then turn my focus from what I didn't want, and I'd ask, what do I want? And that took me, and I didn't share it with them because they would try to talk me out of it. But I knew I could talk myself into anything. So I went, yeah, I just love that I'm walking. What if I could walk again? I will walk again. And I love this breath after breath, thought after thought, just imagining it. And one day I felt a little energy, a little movement in my right toe. And I know that in my teaching, that whatever we think about expands in our life. Now, the kicker is that what we're thinking about, we have 60,000 thoughts every day. And about 80% of those thoughts are thoughts about what we don't want. No wonder why most of us aren't very happy, or as happy as we could have, or have our dreams, because we're thinking about what we don't want. And whatever we think about, we get. So I just focused on that movement in my right toe and breathing deeply, just imagining, seeing me walking, enjoying that freedom. And day after day, breath after breath, that energy started to move through my toes, and then my foot, and then my right leg, and across my waist and down my left leg. And I love doing this. It's like a miracle that voila. And here I am, standing, turning around. Do you realize, Gary, on how many things need to happen for us to just stand up and turn around? And I'm able to do that. And people call me the walking miracle. But here's the good news, Gary. We are all walking miracles, my friend. All walking miracles. Yeah.
There you are.
There we are. There we are.
I believe we were just going to say we are all walking miracles.
Miracles. Exactly. Exactly.
I did
Yeah.
get to see you stand up and do the hoochie poochie, and you turned yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Lucky me.
So basically, you walked your talk. I mean, literally, right? I mean, you took all
Right.
this stuff you've been doing and you go,
Yeah.
man, I got to walk my talk. I've been saying all this shit for years. Now I'm going to prove to people it works, right? And you
Right.
walked your talk. That's awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
did.
awesome.
I did.
What I want to go to feelings because you touched on that first.
Yeah.
But like I said, you've got 9,000 different rabbit holes to go down, but feelings, because you do have that book,
Yeah.
Think and Feel and Grow Rich. There it is. Think, Feel, and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And I found a book in a bookstore in Philadelphia called, I think, Beating the Devil or My Chat with the Devil or something. But it's Napoleon Hill's a manuscript. Have you heard of that book?
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, that Napoleon Hill wrote in the 1930s the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, he didn't, it's not Think, Feel, and Grow Rich. I found his original manuscript, which is public domain. And when I read it, that I saw that from the published book, they edited out 37 times from that book, and he was a leading edge thinker at that time, and he was able to be with the wealthiest people in the world and find out the secrets that they had. And he started getting into, one of the chapters has him talking about that he would, in his mind, invite people in like Abraham Lincoln and get his wisdom, tap into this divine intelligence. And he would do that. Well, that's what all these most successful people in the world in the 1930s, like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford and all these just amazing people he was able to tap in. And these were their secrets. But the publisher said, it's just going too far out on this vibration, and we don't understand this energy crap. So they edited out 37 times the word vibration.
Wow.
And so what I wanted to do was bring back his consciousness, Napoleon Hill, but put in what he really wanted to share. And so now let's step back for a moment. And in the last 5 to 7 years, all of science has proven there's only 3 steps we need to do in order to have anything that we want. And they have proven this, and this is quantum physicists, molecular biologists, neuroscientists, and they have all proven that it's 3 steps. And if you're taking notes, and I would suggest that everybody take notes here, that the first step where it all starts is our thoughts. We start it all. That's the mechanism, if you will, that where creation is made from, is originally from, is our all-powerful thoughts. And in step 2, according to the scientists, proved by the scientists, that our thought creates energy. And this energy is actually our emotions, our feelings. And then that energy, according to the scientists, that then creates matter, matter. And this is where thoughts become things. Now, some people say to me, but Dr. Hank, I've been asking for more money for years, and where's my stuff? Okay. And the key here is what are we really asking for? So if I'm saying, give me more money, I'm actually vibrating and sending to the universe, I don't have enough money. And guess what? You'll be given what everything you ask for is being given to you, and you'll be given not enough money. And so that is the key. And to even get into this and really understand, and why I became, so I'm a mental scientist, I understand how the mind plays, how we can have it play to create the things that we want. We have these 60,000 thoughts every day. 80% of them are unwanted thoughts, negative thoughts, things we don't want. Oh, I hope there's a traffic, I'll get traffic. Gee, I hope I don't get any more bills, I'll get bills. Gee, I hope I don't get into an argument, you get an argument. So we're thinking about the things we don't want versus saying, hey, I just love and imagining, like me imagining me walk, for all of us to imagine, wow, I have more money now is flowing to me. And you don't have to figure out how. And we'll get to that in a second here. But so mental science, I got it down, but I knew there was something else. There was something the scientists miss. And what it is, it's what we, or typically most of us have been brought up with, this concept, understanding of God. They forgot God. They forgot, and you can call it the universe or higher power, whatever it is, that we know, and every one of us knows, like, where does this thinking come from? Where do these thoughts come from? And think about the wonderful things that have happened in your life. Like, you didn't figure them out. when you met your spouse, or when you also got that, they were all the people were strangers to me. All these things, you didn't say, oh, I'm going to do that. And you look back at our lives and we go, who's been doing all this for me or not for me? And it's because I've been thinking about what I don't want. Okay. So if you're all following here and just embrace and understand and realize that. So I went to 4 years of seminary school to understand this God thing. Where did God come with our creation? How do we walk with God? How do we be able to embrace this amazing ability that we have? And I found out and I discovered from that, and I'm blessed with that, and I give thanks for that. And I've helped thousands of people around the world. I used to work with Fortune 100 companies. Now I mainly work with people that want to be more, do, and have more of what they want. And so it basically is that there's 5 steps to create, but we only have to do 2. Only 2 steps we have to do. So the first step is, just like the scientist said, it's our thought. And so my counsel to all of us is just think about what you want and why you want it. What and why. Don't try to figure out the how. That's God's job. Who, when, where. That's God's job. What and why? Wow, I'd like to build my business. I'd like to have more money. Why? I want more choices. I want more variety. I want to go to Europe, whatever it is, just get into it and get into these good feelings. Don't be concerned. Have faith. No, have trust. Know that if you ask, you will be given. So back to the steps. Our thought. So that's the first thing we need to do is our thinking. And I help people with that thinking. So they change that 80% down to not much. Or are they thinking about what they don't want, but everything thinking about what they do want, and the good, if you will, the positive. And so step 1, our thought. Step 2, just like the scientist said, is that thought creates energy, and it's our feelings. But now there's step 3, and this is where God, the universe, the divine comes in. And so step 1 is our thoughts. Step 2 is, just like the scientist said, that our thoughts create this energy. And in step 3, this energy, our feelings, our emotions, is our communication system to the divine. So it's our feelings. See, because English, if I say God, everybody has a different definition of it. But our feelings, we describe exactly what we're thinking about, how we're feeling about whatever topic it is. So we go to step 3, where God, the divine, instantly receives our prayer from step 1, our thinking, instantly receives our prayer and instantly answers it. But people say to me, but Dr. Hank, where's my stuff? I've asked for the money, I've asked for the car, I've asked for the, person in bed, whatever. And that, where's my stuff? And where it is, it's in energy form. And, the whole universe has been proven that it's all energy, and we can mold the energy with our thoughts into anything and everything that we want. And so because of that it's just the only second thing we need to do is step 4. And it's what I call ABE. Allow it, believe it, and expect it. When you ask for it, so people say like, oh, I want to build my business. Okay. And so that goes to God. God answers it. It's ready there for you to allow it in step 4. But someone says no to you. And then what are you thinking about? Oh, I don't have enough business. Well, you didn't allow it in, and now you split your energy. You went from, oh, I want more business to not enough. It's a blessing for people to say no, because that helps build your energy to what you do want. Just like in the hospital, when I was told I couldn't walk, this helps me to build it.
Hey, everybody. You can't believe where we went. Dr. Hank is so powerful in what he's able to do. He actually took us to another completely dimension. And
But
and now
we're
we're
back.
back with Dr. Hank. And believe me, that was a trip. I wish you guys could have gone with us. It was so
Oh, that's
Dr. Hank, you
fabulous,
were
Gary.
covering
Gary, you're a
thought.
ride. You're a hoot. Love what you do, man. And so, yeah, where we were is, we talked about how science had proven that it's three steps to get anything we want. Thought turns to energy. That energy is our feelings, and our feelings then create matter, matter. Why thoughts become things. I went to seminary school to understand how God, how the universe, whatever you want to call it, our higher power, whatever, divine intelligence, where does that fit in? And so I went to 4 years of seminary school, and I was blessed enough to be understand on how life plays and how we can have life play for us. So it's similar to the way the scientists had proven, but they forgot God, and we're going to add God back in. So the first step is our thought. And remember, we really need to focus in on what are we thinking about? And I'm going to show you a little bit later on how to do this real easily. But 80% of most of our thoughts are about what we don't want. And we don't feel good then. And that's our indicator that we're not thinking about what we want. So our thoughts create this energy, and that's our emotions in step two. Now, those emotions of ours is actually the signal that goes to the divine. And in step three, God, the divine, all that is, whatever you want to call it, that it is there, it is real. I've been on the other side 3 times, and I know this, and I've been blessed with this, and to share this good news. And that's why you're listening with Gary and I right now, to be able to have this touch your heart and realize that in step three, that signal goes to the divine, it goes to God, and God instantly answers our prayer. In other words, what we were thinking about. And prayer is when we're on our knees and our hands folded. Our prayers are every moment of everyday thought and thinking. And so in step three, God instantly receives our prayer and beautifully, instantly answers our prayer. But people say to me, but Dr. Hank, where's my stuff? Where's the money? Where are the things that I have asked for? And well, it's an energy form, and it's been proven that the whole universe is made out of energy. And we have the power with our all powerful, mighty, almighty mind to be able to mold that energy into our lives. And so in step three, God answers it and puts it in energy form. And all we need to do, other than the thinking, because everything else is automatically, the Father does the work in the middle, our thinking is to what I call in step four, abe it, allow it, believe it, expect it. And when we allow it and believe it and expect it, then we get step five. And step five is we receive it. We experience what we have asked for. We receive, we attract everything that we have asked for, the thoughts, the people, the circumstances, and the events to what we desire. So hearing that, any thoughts, Gary, on
Oh,
how
I have
that,
I
yeah.
have a bajillion of them. I don't know what a bajillion is, but it's bigger than a Brazilian. That's all I
It's
know.
a lot.
It's a lot. One of the things that as I went down the Dr. Hank rabbit hole, that doesn't have anything to do with your Joyceck book, but
Yeah.
is the different philosophies, the different teachers, the different modalities that you dove into, i.e., God,
Yeah.
Abraham, the Bible, Emmett Fox, Napoleon Hill. I mean, you really didn't say, I know everything and follow what I'm saying. I mean, you went to some of the greatest teachers in history ever created, starting with the main
Yes.
creator, right?
Right.
Um, of all of these different teachers,
Yes.
and using the 5 steps that you just talked about, I mean, which one of these teachers really brought you to this realization that you have
Yeah.
so much control, these thoughts that you have, the feelings, this
Yeah.
thought. Which one really brought that to you and touched you on that?
Such a beautiful, beautiful question. And before I answer that, it really just is a divine question. And to understand that, see, everybody that has walked before us is still alive and well. We just lose our bodies. And there is no death. We have eternal lives. And we can tap into all of this, what I call divine intelligence. So there's AI, artificial intelligence. It's like giving an 8-year-old genius, ask them a question, they got the answer. Okay. DI gives you the answer for your path and for you to be walking on your lighted path. So, who my greatest teacher is, I think might be a little surprising because it's none of those characters, those people, those beings, that divine intelligence that you mentioned. It's actually the kingdom within me. And it is, and how do I know this? Like, how do I know when I'm on track? And this is back to your question previously about feeling. It's that I shared that our emotions, our feeling communicates to the divine, and they respond and they answer and they'll give it to us as long as we allow it. Okay. But also that the divine communicates with us through our feelings. When I feel bad, it means I'm not thinking the way that God is thinking, the divine, the universe is thinking about this. When I feel good, I am. And here's the beautiful thing, Gary, is in every particle of the universe, there's the wanted and the unwanted. Every person is angelic or not. And every situation is the wanted or the unwanted. And it's up to us to choose. So here's a great little exercise, and I would suggest, as long as you're not driving right now, to do this exercise, and for Gary, for you to play along too. That I'd like you to look around the room and look for all the brown in your room. And so just look around and look for all the brown in the room. Now, I want you to close your eyes and tell me what is the red in the room? Yeah. And now open up your eyes and you're going to see all kinds of red. Okay. And what that proves is whatever I'm focused on, if I feel that, oh, gee, this is going to be a tough day, that's what I'm going to see. Okay. And I have this magical way. It's called the Joy Shop, and all of you can have it. And I'm going to give it to you for free. I've sold it for $1,000 to people around the world. Give it to you for free. It'll improve the way that you think and the way that you feel, and will improve your life. I guarantee it. And all you need to do is text me or call me. And my number is 214-753-7204. And I will send you for free this. It's called a Joy Shop, Joy, and then shop, SHOP. So it's not a workshop, okay? And so I don't use the word work. It's a joy shop, baby. And this will literally, first thing in the morning, just 15 minutes will change your life. Because it's back to, what am I looking for? Am I looking for the brown, the doo-doo in life, or am I looking for the red, the glorious, the beautiful in life? And yeah, I'm going to look at, so everything has a wanted or the unwanted. And when we start recognizing that we'll see that we'll start attracting, it's a law of attraction, that we'll start attracting into our lives the things that we're thinking about, the things that we're asking for, the things that we want. And so it's a beautiful life, Gary.
I love
And
it. I
most
love it.
people
And
don't. Yeah.
it's so true about that reticular activating mechanism. It's so
Mm-hmm.
true about that. You've been wanting a silver Corvette and then you hadn't
Yeah.
seen one anywhere, and all of a sudden, as you start wanting that silver Corvette, you see silver
Yeah.
Corvettes all over the place, right? It's
Exactly.
just how the focus kind of changes.
Yeah.
Um, I want to touch on the other thing you mentioned though about the mind, and that's dis-ease. How we attract dis-ease, right? The
Yeah.
body is
Yeah.
not
when our spirit, when our soul is not at ease, right? That's when we
Yeah,
let in the bad
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So, and it's a great, again, a brilliant question that when you look at, let's think of, there's a lot of different disease that, but it's really easy for us to think about our bodies. And we say, oh, they got a disease. And it's really not disease, it's a dis-ease, and that causes cancer or whatever. I've helped people overcome cancer without chemotherapy, all with our mind. We can do all things are possible with God. You just invite the divine with you and ask for, like, a beautiful thing I do in the morning in my joy shop is I ask for my higher being, my source, okay, what most people would call God. I ask to come along with me, to join me today, to think with me, and then give me the next better feeling. Ooh, to feel with me. That's my spirit. My spirit is my breath and my feelings and my emotions. So for my spirit, that I ask for you to be with me and to give me, so I'm feeling right now, but now I ask you for the next better feeling. Okay. The first one was good feeling thought, and the next, give me the next better feeling. And see, it's just the next step. And then to give me that come into my experience and be in every cell of my body, but in every sense of my body too, where I see, touch, hear, smell, taste, that, and to be there and give me the next better experience. Oh, I want to experience even better now in my life. Yeah. And then there's, of course, the sixth sense. And that is, I want to communicate with my sixth sense more with the divine and show me the way. And you'll be shown the way. You'll get thoughts. You'll attract people, circumstances, events that will give you everything that you want. So dis-ease is, it's simply mentally, and that's the opposite. What I've just explained is the opposite of disease. So you don't have to, if you think, oh, gee, I hope I don't get disease, you'll attract disease. And you say, but no, I asked for, I don't want it. No. You're thinking disease. You can't think, don't think about the pink elephant. You can't be thinking about the pink elephant. And so it's like, oh, this is easy. And a great song to do on talk about easy is row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but your dream. And it is. Whatever you dream, you can have. It's just your resistant thoughts, your dis-ease that doesn't give it. And how do you get rid of that? And I just shared some ways, Joy Shop, and about inviting God in every day, to do that, but also to ask for the white dove of peace. I ask that peace flow into my mind now for peaceful thoughts. I ask that the white dove of peace flow into my spirit now for better feelings. Yeah. I ask for the white dove of peace to flow into my body now, for me and my body to be healthier, to look younger, to be more energized. Yeah. Peace. And when you just breathe deeply and breathe in peace, the peace will be upon you. And you'll see the world differently. You'll see other people. And the biggest battle that all of us have and are having is the battle within their own head. That's the battle. I call it the committee. These 80% of unwanted thoughts. Yeah, they're the committee. And it's this big, beautiful mahogany table and beautiful executive chairs. And it's fear and worry and doubt and complaining and shame and guilt and anger. And the head of the committee is the judge. And who's the judging? Mainly you. And you didn't do a right job. You didn't do this right. You didn't say that right. And then you got all the fear and everything. And who's made the mahogany table? Who made this table so powerful with these executive chairs? We did. No longer am I going to listen to the committee.
Well,
So when it
the worst part about the committee is they've been there forever, so they'll bring something up from third grade. The committee will remind you at 3 o'clock in the morning that you said something stupid in third grade.
You bet. They're
So
going to
cool.
sneak into any crack door that's open, baby. They're going to try to get in there. They're going to try to keep you up in the middle of the night. And here's the answer to that. Well, how do I manage the committee? Whenever the committee comes, and you don't need to monitor your 60,000 thoughts now, because we know I just need God's communicating, guiding me every moment of every day with my feelings. And it's like, this is so cool that when I don't feel good, I simply ask myself, oh, what am I thinking about? And the technique, an easy way of doing it is simply say, so let's say, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough, whatever it is, I don't feel good, whatever, I need sleep, whatever it is that you don't feel good. And you simply say, this is what I don't want. Don't put a charge in it. It's not what I don't want. And then you ask. See, it's this ask and you shall receive. The Father does the work in the middle. You ask, what do I want? Oh, and just breathe deeply, and the thoughts will come. You'll become a magnet to attract the people and the circumstances and the events to give you everything that you want. Like you said, Gary, if I think about a silver Corvette, the silver Corvette, there's all kinds of them. This world has everything we want in it and everything we don't want. And guess what? We have to brush up to what we don't want, not enough money, an argument, whatever that is, that we have to brush up to it to birth these new thoughts that bring us a brighter future.
Love it. I love that. It of all the books that you have, and I went through the 16 different ones, and just touched on each of them, but conscious mind treatment, CMT, was the one that kind of really struck me.
That is so funny. I'm going to share two books with you. And the first one I'm going to share with you is the one you brought up, Conscious Mind Treatment.
Yeah.
Now, what's so great about that is this was my first of 24 books. And here's the picture of me.
Damn, you're a sexy beast. I think I remember you from Miami Vice. You and Miami Vice.
Yeah, and this is right out of seminary school, and me really understanding what it is, and so it's a great book. Now, it was written. When was it written? If I can get a date on this, and I've had different publishers and whatever. 2010, so that was written 15 years ago. What would probably more people would be interested in, because in essence, you'll get a conscious mind treatment. It will treat your mind to the goodies, okay? And that why treat your mind to the committee and the devil, if you will. The only thing working against us is that committee. Now understand that committee is actually a blessing because, like you say, it's been around since third grade, forever, but it's a blessing. We have to have contrast, okay? And part of the contrast, besides the world and other people, is the committee. But it helps us understand what we don't want. And when you realize that there's nothing to be afraid of, there's no fear, there's no death. Death is misunderstanding. We just transition to the other side. I've been there 3 times. But here's the book. And actually, I have a program that's even better than the book, but it's called Easy Money, Easy Life. Oh.
Easy money, baby. Easy money.
Easy money, easy life. Easy money, easy life. I love money and money loves me. See, we have been brought up with this idea about, oh my God, the root of all evil is the love of money. And that is what the Bible says. But the meaning behind that, what the Bible was saying is, if you put anything above God, it becomes the root of all evil. Okay, it's not going to bring you happiness. But money is a gift from God. He was just using money as an example. Money is a gift from God. He gives us more choices, more variety. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to get picked up in a Rolls Royce. And we're going to eat at the Michelin restaurant in the Eiffel Tower. I mean, I do all this. I go around the world all the time. I've been on the 7 Great Wonders and, sat on in Egypt, on the So anyways, you can have it all. Money is great, and this is a great world, but we have such resistance towards money. The filthy rich. Hell, we're 3 years old. We hear the filthy rich. We say, I'm not going to be filthy. I can't be rich. And so what this book does, it changes your mind and allows you in step 4, it allows you to, to give yourself permission to live the abundant life, to have the money that you want. Like there's billionaires in the world now. There's like I think the number is 4,200 something billionaires. But there were no billionaires 100 years ago. So where'd the money come from? Did we import it from some other planet or something? No, we create it in our minds, and we say, "Hey, I want to, be able to offer this, that." And Steve Jobs, he was just amazing. I channel with him every day. And so you ask for some of the people that I, channel: Christ, Buddha, Steve Jobs, Wayne
It's funny
Dyer. I mean,
when we had our massive technical difficulties. That's what you said. You said, "Well, call Steve Jobs. Reach out to
exactly.
Steve. He'll help us fix it."
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
other book kind of gave me a "You're the happiest man in the world." Kind of gave me an Og Mandino vibe. Remember Og Mandino?
yeah.
I
I
love
know
Og.
Og.
Love
Yeah,
Og, man. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
that the happiest man in the world, I'm like, that's
yeah,
a little Og
yeah,
work in there, which is great because
yeah.
he's
Well, the
such a fun
happiest man
guy.
in the world, and what's interesting about this is there's many stories in there that shows the contrast. And one example is my dad was a pilot in World War II, and he was a bomber, flew over Germany, bombing Germany. He got shot down, and he ended up in prison camp, in a Hitler prison camp for 13 months. And he was, like 21 years old when this happened. And emotionally, I mean, you didn't know if you'd live that day. You didn't know if you get shot that day. You didn't know if you get food that day. You didn't know how many bugs would crawl on you. I mean, it was miserable. So my father loved his children so much, and I'm the third one, and 4 sons, loved his children so much, he was going to make damn sure we were prepared if we had to go to a Hitler prison camp when we were 21. So he became Hitler to us. He'd drop us off on a hill in Wisconsin and drive off, and we'd had nothing and didn't know if he's coming back or whatever, but he was going to teach us. Well, even though I hated him, at the time,
At the moment,
that
yeah, at the time.
yeah, yeah, at the time, but now I understand him. I love him. He meant well. Everybody means well. They're trying the best. Sometimes it doesn't look very pretty, but what did he give me? He gave me the contrast of what I didn't want. This is what I didn't want, so I could become the best father ever to my 3 sons, and I am. And I communicate with them every day, and and they're amazing. They have amazing lives, and blah blah blah. I mean, it's just incredible. And I got grandchildren, and it is just amazing, and it's all because of my dad. And my mom and dad helped me birth me into this world. The rest is up to us.
Yeah.
So change your story about the pity party. I had this upbringing or whatever. Look for the blessing in it. Look for the one and look for what you do want and take it from there and start sailing, baby.
You
Start
know,
going to
you
everything that you want.
touching on that a little bit is, you see this generational suffering that goes on around the country, around the world, whatever. And you see these people, maybe in the projects or whatever. And it's like, the great grandma was there, grandma is there, mom's there, and now the kids are there.
Yeah.
And everyone just wallows in this stuff. And then you
Yeah.
see one guy, like I was talking to this beautiful dude, John McLeod.
Yeah.
I love John
Yeah.
McLeod. This guy broke out of one of those wicked neighborhoods in Brooklyn. We've all heard, hundreds of these stories.
Yeah.
It's like, these any of them can break out. They can all get out. They can all leave. They can all go, but they're just like crabs in a bucket. One pulls the other one down,
It's
but
okay.
they have no exposure
Yeah.
to anything else, and so they don't have the vision of, well, I can get out of here if I want to,
Yeah.
right?
It's okay though. It's okay. Everything is playing out because see, it lowers your vibration. You kind of feel bad, or there's nothing to feel bad about anything. That my son-in-law, that he is a Black man. He was brought up in the inner core of Atlanta into poverty, generation to gen. Nobody went to college or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he had one teacher though. And see, and this happens, every one of those people have been touched. And again, it's all playing out just fine. There's everything we want in this world, everything we don't want, poverty and inner cities and, whatever. And then, the rich, et cetera. But we get to choose the life we want. Well, he decided, hey, and this one teacher told him, hey, you can really be something. And he just believed her. And so he ended up going to college, going to law school, got this amazing international law firm position, making starting salary under 30 grand or so, just crazy, paid off all his debt, left there, worked for as an attorney to help people in the projects. And now the city of Atlanta mayor selected him as the judge of Atlanta. He's a judge now, this guy. And, Black people can't, what do you mean Obama was president of the United States? Don't buy into, it doesn't matter what's going on other than what you're thinking and what you're feeling. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, what your background is. So let's change our story and let's talk about our bright future. And I'm gonna text Dr. Hank, and I'm gonna get the Joy Shop, and I'm gonna start being on this pathway. I call it the pathway of joy. See, you build momentum, and most people build momentum, like you were saying, in the inner core, a momentum of what they don't want, more and more, and it gets bigger and bigger. Because whatever you ask for is going to grow, and your cup will overflow. So what are you asking for? Okay, and so most people are walking down the corridor of hell and going down to hell because 80% of them are thinking, about unwanted thoughts. However, we can change it all right now. You can change it and say, hey, that's what I don't want. What do I want? And so again, it's kind of facing this direction now on, I want to walk down the corridor of joy. I want the doors of my desires and dreams to come true now, to be experienced now. I want to laugh more. I want to smile more. I want to enjoy more. I want to love more. I want deeper, more meaningful relationships. I want to grow my business. I want to have more easy money. I want more of an easy life. I want love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. And all you need to do is ask for that and not have any resistant thoughts and just allow it in step 4. And you'll start seeing the magic happen. I had a guy that just was telling me that, he didn't have any money and he didn't know if he could coach with me or whatever. And I said, well, what do you want? And then he goes, well, I want to grow my business. I said, cool, let's go grow your business. He had no business at all. And this was a real estate agent. And this was back in March, had no business at all. The most listings he's ever had was 3 listings. And, right now real estate isn't booming, it's just kind of flat. He has 17 listings right now. And I told him, hey, I want you to look now at your checkbook and see, the kind of money. He goes, oh my God, I didn't even realize on how much money I have accumulated with this. See, there's plenty of money. You just need to be thinking about what you want. And I can help each one of you to think about what you want and then to allow it in.
I'm gonna go singing "Row, row, row your boat" down the corridor of joy. From now on, every hallway I enter will now be designated the corridor of joy.
The corridor of joy, baby. That's
So
all you need. See those reminders. Yeah.
Oh, I just love corridors. So where do you place journaling, manifesting, praying? I know you said praying initially, not on your knees, praying, whatever. But where are we putting this? Are we just putting it into the universe? Are we putting it in a journal? Are we manifesting?
Yeah.
Where are we placing these things to offset, the 80,000 negative thoughts a day?
Right. And another brilliant question, Gary, and I appreciate that. How do I do it? That typically I recommend that you write it down initially. And so like the Joy Shop is you read these good feeling thoughts that'll raise your vibration. And then it's three major things that you will write down. And the first one is, what do I desire? Now, the reason why you want to write it down until your mind is disciplined is that you'll, for example, say, oh, I want to increase my business. And then all of a sudden you think, oh, shit, this guy didn't pay me and I don't have enough money here. The committee takes you off. You're not thinking about anything you want. Okay. So most people aren't mentally disciplined yet. You will be, but yeah, to do it. So to write it down, it really adds a clarity and it gets this a multi-sensory impact where you can see your words, you're writing your words, you're thinking about, your thoughts. And so it's really great. So you write down on what do I desire? And the first thing to write down and stay general. Don't be, oh, I want $1 million. It's not about that. Okay. It's about, hey, so what I would recommend you write down and think about all day long, besides row, your boat, row to, the joy corridor of joy, that and every corridor walking in is joy. I mean, really, those things are just magnets for you to really stay focused, because you can be real general on this. But here's what I would write down. I would have everybody write down. I desire, I want, you're the commander of your ship, your soul. I want a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. Again, I want a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And then from there, you'll get the next thought. And oh, what does that look like? And again, you don't want to be real specific on, oh, I'm going to land this job, because we don't know the amazing plan that is for us to get everything we want and for our cup to overflow to get even more of what we want. So maybe that big deal you don't get that bursts this amazing energy on, wow, I didn't get that, but I know there's something better. What do I want? Man, I want even a bigger and easier, and people that really get what I'm doing and sharing and what I offer. And, and you build all this energy. And then next thing you know, you don't just get this big deal, you get this whale of a deal. And that's fun if you're an entrepreneur to go whale hunting. What are you doing today? I'm going whale hunting, getting those big clients where I can help more people. Yeah. So that's why I recommend writing down. And again, the order of in the joy shop, all you need, I've been given this, I've channeled these divine ways in order to treat our mind, back to the conscious mind, to treat our mind to the gift of what I desire, what I appreciate. See, when you are writing down what you appreciate, and you can just use the last 24 hours, that I appreciate that I woke up this morning. Some people didn't. That I appreciate I can think. We're so used to this. Do you know, Gary, we live better than any king or queen ever did? I was in Bali last year, and and they honored the elephants. They go, oh yeah, our kings and queens, right? This is a stinky elephant. They're slow. We can hop in a car and go way faster and way better experience. We have phones, we have running water, we got hot water, that we have electricity, that we just got it so many better, literally better than any king or queen ever did. And so there's so much to appreciate, but to start with us, and that I have the ability to think, this amazing ability to mold the energy that creates worlds into my experience, into what I want. I can think, I can feel, and I can communicate with the divine through my feelings. And the divine communicates with me. And I'm guided every moment of every day, I always have. Now I realize it. Today is my wake-up call to realize, oh my God, I'm guided. I have all these resources to give me everything. There's nothing to be afraid about. I don't lock my door, front door, I don't lock my door. There's nothing to lock from. There's I only attract the good people. And if there is some, yeah.
You mentioned good people.
Yeah.
So I've always said, people can be like crabs in a bucket, right? You try to
Yeah.
escape out of that bucket and they're just pulling you right back down because you make them uncomfortable because you're trying to do better. You're trying to do more. You want more.
Yeah.
Um, what is, what's your thought on the crabs in the bucket? What's your thought on
Yeah. Yeah.
people?
So let
When
me
is
help
it
you with
time
that.
to when is it time to cut bait with,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So all of that stuff that you just said are unwanted thoughts, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel good. I mean, that's all like to me, and I'm very sensitive. I pick up the vibration of people. I mean, I do listen to them, but more it's the vibration as I'm
Yeah.
with the divine connected. And so when I hear that, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. Okay, it's like, oh, don't be doing that. And so get completely out of this crabs and everything. We're these divine beings. We're all angels, okay, or not, and we get to choose. And so stop honoring the God with the small g, the God of other people's opinion.
Mm,
Okay. But we've been taught, oh, what are people going to think? We're trying to keep up with the Joneses and everything. It doesn't get you anywhere except for where you don't want. It gives you unhappiness. I help a lot of people that have a lot of money and they're unhappy. It's not because they have a lot of money, it's because of how they're thinking. That I have people that they can't drive for 10 minutes without being in a rage over, oh, this guy's going too slow and this guy and there, and it's like, hey, I'm having a great time. I always kid that I'm sitting in the same room with a person. They're telling me about how all this is, it's all in their head, oh, the world is terrible and, this is happening. And I'm saying, well, I'm over here and I'm flying with my angels. What's the difference? The difference is how I am thinking. And so when I stop honoring the God of other people's, and I only honor one opinion, and that is God's. And how do I know God's opinion? How I feel. So when I feel good, I don't feel good about thinking people are crabs and crawling up and trying to do all this. I just forget all that. It's everything I don't want. And so I'm going to think differently about this. All people are angels, and I'm an angel, and I can be, do, and have any and everything that I would desire. It's not about what they're doing or what they're thinking or what they think about me. It's what I'm thinking and feeling. And I'm going to think about what I desire, what I appreciate. I'm going to be a deliberate creators. We're all creators. Most of us are creating what we don't want. And that I have decided right now in this moment that I'm going to create what I want. I'm going to create a blissful life, a happy life. I want to be in simple thing. I just want to be happier. God knows exactly how to make you happier, but you have to ask. It's all up to you. Like people say, oh, well, I'm waiting for God to give me the answer. Good luck. You're the one that's got to do the asking. God's will is to do whatever you ask for. That's God's will. Get out of the way when you ask for something. Get out of the way. That's the only thing in the way is your committee, is your resistant thoughts towards whatever you want. And like, I'm done with the battle. Okay. I make peace with the battle. I make peace with my committee. I love my committee, love everything. I love my committee. Tells me what I don't want. And then I go after what I do want. And this is how to live. My last book is called Living the Magical Life, and this book, and living the magical life. And this is how to live the magical life. It's not hard. Like people typically say, I had someone earlier today said, well, this is going to really be hard. And I said, why are you setting this up to be hard?
right.
You get to call it.
That was a
And I
very
don't care
poor
what.
that was a
Yeah,
very poor manifestation, right? This is going to be
right,
hard. It's like, why is this going to be hard? Letting
right.
go and just going into ease and going into flow shouldn't
Yeah,
be a difficult thing. I mean, that's the whole thing about flow is,
yeah.
rivers, you just watch a river, it comes up to a rock, it just goes around it. It's like, yeah, that's a stone. I'll find another one, and
There
you
you
get
go.
into that flow and you realize I can flow around anything. I just have to let it water off a duck's back.
There you go. There you go. And people will try to fight you. Their committees are, oh, but that's not true. I have these experiences. It doesn't matter what happened before you. See, God doesn't care if you're thinking about the past, present, or future. Whatever you're thinking of, you're going to get it. Well, why would I think about stuff that I don't like? I have a great little story on that I'm going to meet my father-in-law for the first time, and I'm driving there with my wife, and because of her previous experiences, she starts telling me, "Hey, my dad isn't going to be nice to you. Okay, my dad isn't going to call you by your first name. We're going to be in there for like 10 minutes. It's going to be horrible, and we're going to get out of there." Well, I knew this is what it's not on you as you believe. And so I knew I couldn't talk her out of it. She would just dig her heels in, no, really, and give me all the. So instead, I just talked myself into what I wanted. And so when she said, he's not going to talk to you, he's going to talk to you, that he's not going to say your name, he's going to tell me my name. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be there a long time. It's going to be a magical time together. By the time I knock on that door, I am vibrating so much, so looking forward to meeting this man and building a relationship with him that I become irresistible. It doesn't matter what he has been, done, whatever. So we walk in there, and within about a minute, well, he starts being a little nice to me. And he calls me Hank, and next thing I know, he's showing me his office and his home, and his portfolio. And it was kind of funny. Like he goes, "Yeah, let me show you some of my guns," and I'm thinking, God, I hope this works. He doesn't shoot me, and I didn't really think that. But so we have this amazing time. We walk out of the office. He's got his arm around me. We're talking. We're having a great time. We're there for an hour and a half. We leave. We get in the car, and my wife says, "I'm really concerned about my dad." I said, "Really? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, I think he's sick." And I said, "Well, did he say that, or did your mom say that?" She goes, "No, but he was just too nice to you."
That's
So I
golden.
so if I can turn him around, any of us can turn anybody around. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. But see, we build this on, they're going to act this way, or they're going to be this way, or this is how they've always been. That you're just making a monster out of that person. So
Now
stop.
you are a real estate broker owner. Are you still involved in the real estate company broker?
I'm involved big time with real estate. Yeah.
I've been a broker for 35 years, and one of
Oh,
my son's a broker. We have our own little company, property management
oh
company,
my
real estate
gosh.
company out here. But I can just imagine your office meetings must be off the hook. I can just I can either watch people falling in love or just running out of there with their hair on fire, just freaking
Yeah,
out.
yeah. And they fall in love is that's who I attract, people that want to be, do, and have more. And that, yeah, I'm not only a real estate broker, I'm also a loan officer. I can get paid on both sides, if you will. And for the most part, it's passive. That I love passive income. In fact, my real estate book is called and I have a whole program on this that your GPS to success and the 5 steps for a real estate agent to experience prosperity. And that's why I had that one agent that they're at 17 listings right now and got all kinds of money. They've never had anything close to that. And so I help my agents and people that that I can help them in anything they want to be, do, and have, because we have the power to just be thinking about, hey, what do I want? And I help people get in that direction. So I can help anybody but passive income, like as far as the name of the game, I've been an executive with Procter and Gamble. I had my own management consulting company, internet, doing Fortune 100 companies around the world. Now I just have fun, and I have appreciated passive income. So in real estate, I have passive income coming into me every month. In mortgage, I do, and it's beautiful. And all the people that are generating and doing the work, if you will, they're real happy because they're making more than they ever. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. And it really is special lifting people up like that. Taking people, because
yeah,
real estate can be a difficult business, right? It can be a difficult business. You're dealing with a lot of emotions, buyers, sellers, you're dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of different weird
mm,
stuff happens. And by
yeah,
just staying above it, and
yeah,
understanding that we've got this. This is what we do. This is why we're here. If weren't here to take care of these things, people wouldn't need us. So let's step back
Mhm.
and just take care of the thing. And sometimes
Yeah.
you run into these agents that feel they have to create challenges because they don't feel worthy of their commission. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm making a lot of money. So if I throw a little wrench in this thing and then I can come in like a hero,
Mhm.
I justify my existence." It's like,
Right.
why do you have to do that? Just
Right.
a
Right.
smooth, beautiful transaction is what people would rather have.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see that instead, right?
Yeah. I'm a real estate agent and broker who I mentor, and I was with him yesterday, and he goes, God, it just gets better and better. And he said, like, I had a deal, it was a cash offer. He never met the buyer or the seller, and he made tens of thousands of dollars on the deal. And I said, this is how it can be. But if I say, oh, it's going to be tough, or, that's how people are, or whatever, because that's life. See, when people say, like, oh, real estate agents are this way. No, 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 people are. And so, and it's about, yeah, do they have self-worth, self-esteem, that the people I pray for, I think about the wanted for the people that I mentor. And so one of the things I pray for them on, and individually, literally, that's why I'm in my joy shop for 2 hours every morning. And it's beautiful, typically from like 4 to 6. And I walk out, I'm flying with my angels by the time I walk out there. But I ask for more confidence for my people and for a higher self-esteem, that we have been beaten down, and the number one fear in America isn't death, it's public speaking. You know why? Because vibrationally, we heard when we were 5 or whatever, we heard, don't talk to strangers, like they're going to kill us. And that's what they were thinking. They didn't have to tell us, we pick up the vibration. And so we're petrified. Most people are petrified of speaking with everybody's a stranger. Your mother was a stranger, when you're born. That
Well,
we're
that
all
that
strangers.
fear is such a big thing too. I mean, you've got people with
Oh,
massive fear of success. It's like they
oh,
they completely self-jeopardize themselves and sabotage
yeah.
themselves because that fear of success. I say I want this, but actually I
Yeah.
have a deep fear of actually getting it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, fear is actually false evidence appearing real, an acronym.
Or
And there's
forget
another.
everything and run. Forget
What's that?
everything and run. Uh, and also face everything and rise.
Now that's the other one that
But
I use. Yeah, not the
I do
run
like
crap.
Zig Ziglar's though. False
Yeah,
evidence appearing real. That's always been my
yeah.
favorite one.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's been proven by science. In fact, the insurance industry, they were looking at life insurance, and it really should be called death insurance, right? That life insurance, and they wanted people to live longer to pay those premiums. So they looked into why were people dying, and they found that most people were dying. Actually, number one reason why people die is heart disease, and so they looked at heart disease on why that was, and they found out that it was stress. And so they looked at stress and they said, where's the stress coming from? And it's this fear. And they looked at fear and they found most things we fear never even happen. Okay. And so it's like, it really is false evidence appearing real. And what you do when you have any fears, you simply say, that's what I don't want. What do I want? Wow, I want, whatever that is. And that we're all just fine. And that for us to know that we got this, we can handle this, that we are the owners of our life. We are the creators of our life, every experience of it. It's the accumulation of our thoughts. And so it's like, wow, I'm free now. And so our soul is here for 3 reasons. Number one, growth. And that growth comes from this contrast that if we don't get out of our pity party, most people are staying in their pity party in Facebook about it, talk about it, whatever, and they're in it. But God automatically, the universe automatically goes to what you do want. And that growth of thought and feeling gives the growth that puts the eternity into all of humanity and all that is. So we're all perfect. It's all perfectly playing out. Now, if you want to enjoy your life, though, you leave the pity party and you go and you walk with God. That's another book of mine, Walking with God. And that you walk with God. And when you see the beauty on what all of this is, that you realize that, wow, I have the ability to do it. So our soul is here for that growth, but then it's also here for just two other things. Number two is for more freedom. And the number one freedom that you can give your soul is freedom from this committee. And then freedom from this world. I'm in this world, but not of this world. And that's true for all of us. You can do this and even more than what I have done. And so take that to heart and realize who you are. You're made in the image and likeness of God. We're all these divine creators. And so go out and call it the way you want. So that's the freedom we're looking for. And I help people to be free of that committee. And then the prize is joy. And for us to realize that this is a joyful life, it's a beautiful world. And all we have to do is ask for the red, to see the red, to see the beauty, to see the love, to see the angelic people, the more money, the more business. And when we ask for it and don't have any resistance, you'll get it.
Oh man. Well, you might have just answered my last question. Because I lied earlier, because I'm a real estate broker. We lie. Um, I did say I had that one question. That was a what if you could question. And you've been so amazing. I'm sorry we went so far over because we had
It's
these
beautiful.
technical
It's
difficulties.
beautiful.
Thank
I have
goodness for
loved
Steve.
every moment.
Thank goodness for Steve's job. But I do have one last question, if I may. I know you got something
Sure.
coming there. Um, with all that you have and all the books and all the thoughts and everything you've been through, I'm sure you've got a lot of different ones. But is there a last thought or a last saying or a last quote or
Mhm.
last
Yeah.
something you'd like to leave us with that means something to Dr. Hank that you'd like
Yeah.
to share with us before we skedaddle?
You bet, Gary. That, yeah, and so that is the this idea of everything that we want, we actually want it so we can feel better. Okay. When I earned my first $1 million with Procter and Gamble, I was after the second million. Okay. That it's about the feeling. Now, the beauty is, and what I want all of us to embrace and leave you with, is we each have the power to feel good right now. We don't need, and especially when you think, I gotta have it, you're actually pushing it away. And so just know, and how do I feel good in this moment? I can be anywhere in this universe and I can feel great. And everything that happens, like I love that our technology didn't go the way we thought it would. It's not bad or anything, but we were able to call Steve Jobs in. And guess what? On the third time, then it happened. It's kind of like the mind, body, spirit. It's just this trinity, a beautiful thing. And that, and so we can fix anything. We have all these resources to call on. So how do I feel good? All we have to do is ask. I'd like to feel better. Okay. That word better, see, and God knows exactly what you mean by that and exactly how to make your heart sing, how to have your soul dance in joy, how to have the angels play the harps and open up the heavens to all of your desires flowing to you now. And so to keep this, that we all have the power to feel good right now. And when you feel good, it'll get better.
I'm going down that corridor of joy, brother. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna walk down my hallway, which is
Yeah, baby.
I might even get a big sign and put it across my hallway that says corridor of joy. Well,
Beautiful,
you
Gary.
are you are everything and more. I know we all say, "Oh, I'm so looking forward to this," but I really was, and that's why it was driving me crazy. We had so many technical difficulties because
It's all
I just,
beautiful.
yeah, I was just so looking forward to this, and you're
Yeah.
doing amazing things. You're
And
giving,
so are you, Gary.
giving so much, and
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful that you gave me everything that you've given me today, especially your patience and kindness, which means a lot, Dr. Hank. I really, really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, well, you're a beautiful being, Gary, and just know that everything you want, and for all the listeners, all those viewers out there that know that everything that we want is coming our way, starting right
Mm,
now.
love it. Preach, brother. Preach, Dr. Hank.
Yeah,
My
baby.
friend, everybody, you've just been blessed by being washed with goodness and love and joy and freedom from Dr. Hank. And Dr. Hank, where can we find all your good stuff so people can go look you up right away?
Yeah, sure. So, on YouTube is great. Have great videos on there, and just type Dr. Hank and then Seitz, S as in Sam, EITZs. There's some great videos there. That's my website too, drhankseitz.com. And like I say, just call me. Rise up. And so it says, I'm going to face everything and rise up. And, if you're afraid I cost too much money, that I'm going to make you more money than you ever imagined. So call me 214-753-7204. Text me. Ask me for the Joy Shop. Ask me
And we're
for
going to
help.
type in Joy Shop, SHOP, Joy Shop.
Yep, Joy Shop. Yep.
And we're
Just
gonna
type
we're
in
gonna
Joy
be
Shop.
overwhelmed with the flood of so much joy and freedom we won't even know what to do.
Baby. Yeah. It's all waiting for you. Give yourself permission.
It's all there. All right, everybody, look for Dr. Hank. Um, Shoot him that text, 214-753-7204, Joy Shop. If you're ready, which we know you are, go get some Dr. Hank. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Talk to
Okay.
you guys soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, Gary, stay
Yes,
on
sir.
for a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks again for joining us on another episode of What If You Could podcast. Please subscribe, like, share, and give us any feedback. We'd love to hear it. And remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. See you next time.